Yeah.
Perfect. So, what were the topics that you mentioned? You mentioned about classes, right? What are the topics that you mentioned? Classes, then structures, then
Enum,
enums, then
optional,
optionals.
protocols,
Okay. Protocols,
extensions,
extensions,
generic closure,
generics,
closures.
closures.
Now we are added Tuples here.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Fine. Fine. So let's cover these two today. Okay, we'll
Okay.
go topic by topic, and then I would like you to practice a bit, and then once you are more comfortable with these two, then we can move to other topics. Okay, because there is no point. I just one session. If I'll cover everything, it will all you'll not really understand that well. Okay, fine. So firstly, what is tuples? Okay, so in let's say I ask you to write a function. Okay, simple, very simple function where it returns some area. Okay, so let's say calculate area, and then I'll say length, which is double, and then breadth, which is again double, and then this returns length into breadth.
The,
Okay, and the return type is double. This is fine.
yeah.
Now I will say that okay, so this is fine. You are calculating an area which is accepting two parameters and returning its area. Okay, but I'll say that Sneha, can you do one thing? Can you also return the perimeter of these two length and breadth? So you have to now return two items, not just one. I want you to return the area also as well as perimeter also. Okay, how will you do it? Now can you just think about any function that returns multiple items together?
Yeah. Okay.
How? So there can be multiple parameters,
Yes.
but can there be multiple return types?
No, sir. It's only one.
Only one. So till now we have seen that return type can only be one.
Yeah.
Correct. So in most of the programming languages, even in earlier Objective C, the return type was only used to be one. So in case if I had to return multiple items, I had to put them together maybe in an array or a dictionary, and then I used to return it. That is how we used to do it earlier. Okay,
Okay.
and even currently in some cases we still do that. We still use dictionary, but there are those specific cases. Here what we would like to do, we don't really want to get into creation of arrays or dictionaries and all, and then do a key value mapping and then return it. So Swift Apple has created, I've come up with a concept called tuples. Okay, so with tuples what we can do, we can return multiple items together. Okay, so if not just for returning a function, if you would like to store multiple data together, you can
Yeah.
use tuples, and you don't really have to be, it can be of any data type. So you don't really have to be int, it can be int and string or int or double. Got it?
Yeah.
And there can be many, as many as you want. It is not just that it will be only two, as many. Fine, got it?
Okay.
Okay, so what is the tuple?
Yeah, it is. We can use to group up the multiple values in that.
Correct. You can group multiple values together in a tuple. One of the use cases of tuple is when you are returning multiple items from a function. So this one is one of the use cases where you will use tuples. Okay. So now how can I return a multiple items or a tuple? So what I will do, I'll say bracket and I'll say comma, and then I'll again say double. This is how I can return multiple items. As simple, right? This is what we were expecting. If I have to return single, I'll say it's a double. I mean, just one data type. And if I have to return multiple items, I'll just in a bracket, I'll put all the data types that this function can return.
Okay.
This is nothing but a tuple example.
So we can return the data type also multiple values, right?
Yes, you can return multiple data types also. Like you don't have to be double double. You can be string, double, boolean,
Yeah,
anything.
whatever we are in the parameters giving the data types, we can return that also in multiple, right?
Yeah, this is this and this is not in like does not have to be like same. I can
Okay.
say this can return a, boolean and string.
Okay.
So basically the concept is this can return multiple data types together, multiple data together. Okay, I am using double double because I would like to return the area as well as perimeter.
Okay.
Okay, so I am saying now, okay, now I am saying that this returns multiple items, correct?
Yeah.
Now, so here also I need to return multiple.
Yes.
So what I'll do again, say very simple. I'll put a bracket and I'll say 2 into L plus B. This is the perimeter. So
Okay.
now the first one is the area
Yeah.
and the second one is the perimeter.
Parameters.
Correct? So I'm
Okay.
returning like that. So now I have a function that explains me, that is one of the examples of table. So it is very common that when an interviewer is asking you any question for any particular topic, if you can answer with a use case, the interviewer will feel that you know things and you have done things. It is not just that you have read somewhere, right? So it is very important that you always answer with an example. So when the question is what is the tuple, which is a very common interview question, you will say that tuple is used to group multiple items together, and one of the common use cases is returning the data from a returning multiple data from a function.
Yeah.
So if I'd like to return a function which returns both, let's say, area and perimeter, I can use a tuple in this case. So like this, if you respond, I will feel that you have actually implemented it somewhere, not just read it somewhere and just saying it randomly. Got it?
Yeah.
So always answer with an example.
Okay.
Okay, so then we have this. Now, how do we call this? So let's see the calling part. I'll say calculator. What happened to that screen sharing? Will is that possible? Did you figure it out?
Yeah. Yes. Tomorrow I will do in that. Some little bit work is there for
Okay,
him.
but
I was
that
using.
is sorted out. Huh?
Yeah.
You will be able to share your screen.
Yes.
Good. So calculate. Okay. So now earlier, if you remember, we used to store some value like this. Let area equal to, and then we used to call this, correct? If there was a
Yes.
single return type. Now there are a multiple return types. So what I say, let area again bracket comma perimeter equal to, see, like this I can write, because this function returns two items,
Yeah.
area and perimeter. So like this I am creating the constants. The first one will save the
Yeah.
first element and the second one will save the second element. Make sense?
Yes.
Easy, right? Very easy.
Yeah.
Now here I let just say area and perimeter. Let's just print. Fine.
Yes.
Okay, there is another way of doing this as well. So let's say I can say let result.
Okay.
Let result is equals to this. So whatever is the result, I am storing it here. So now
Okay.
this one is actually storing the tuple. Now if I'd like to get some value out of this tuple, so what does result has? What is result is currently storing?
Yeah. Area and perimeter.
Correct. Area and perimeter both. So if I
Yeah.
need just one item, the first one I'll say result dot zero.
Zero.
0 will give me the first one,
Yes.
and then dot 1 will give me the second one. So like this you can do 0, 1, 2, whatever, how many data tuples contains, you will get it from here.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes, understood.
Very easy.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I would like you to create a couple of functions that demonstrates the usage of tuple as an assignment.
Okay.
Okay, you can do it.
Yes.
Okay. Then we have closures. Now closures again is a very interesting concept.
You
Now,
can just comment that assignment. I will after that I'm not.
yeah. You need to think of a use case and then you have to do it. I will not tell you a use case.
Use case. Okay.
Okay, so you think what can be a better use case for your tuples and then you do it. So if you will think of a use case, you will understand better. Even in interview, you will be able to come up with those kind of use cases. Okay, so I want you to think. Fine. Then, so this was an example of tuples returning multiple data types, and then function returning multiple I just say data, and then here the calling part, calling a tuple, and then v1, and then this is another way of calling it. Okay, v2.
Yeah.
Same like optional also we will do. We will see multiple ways of unwrapping optionals.
Okay.
Okay, then we have closures. So closures again is a very interesting concept. So closure is nothing but a block of code. That's all. That is all a closure is. Okay, closure is just a block of code. So this itself can be inside a closure. Whatever, anything that you see, this block of code, right? Any block of code that you write
Yes.
inside this can be a closure.
Yes.
Okay, so closure is just to put some block of code together. Now, what is the usage of closure? You can name it. You can give a name of that closure. You can pass it to a function. So you can pass some block of code inside a function, and then block of code is nothing but function also. So let's say function do something, whatever. There are some line of code. Okay, so this is nothing but some block of code, this function, correct? So even with closures, what you can do, and closure is also same like a block of code, but in with usage of closures, you you will be able to pass a block of code inside another block of code, which means you can pass a function within a function. So now, okay, this function you will see, right? What is the parameters?
Yeah. 1 MB.
L and B, length and breadth, correct? So those are data, but you can also pass closures in this function. You can also pass some block of code inside this function. Okay, so we will see how exactly that is done, and then we will see why closures are so important in programming. Why we cannot do certain things without closures. It is a must to have. Okay, and then now with the newer Swift UI and things, again things are a bit changing, but closures again is going to play a very important role. Okay, so let's say we'll write a very simple function for closures, func, and let's say greet. Here I will write the parameter name, correct? No, parameter name comes here after this bracket. Parameter name I can give anything, but here I will give something called completion, and this is just a parameter name. It can be anything. I'm just using the word completion as a parameter name. Okay, then after this parameter name we give a colon, right? And then
Yes.
here the data type comes in, correct? Okay, even before that I would like to ask you one question. Can you tell me what is the type of this function?
Which one?
This type of this function. If I
Uh,
ask
the
you, if I ask you the type of this function, what will you respond?
type of the function is data double is
Double is the data type of length.
yeah.
I am asking the data type of this function, the whole
Uh,
function.
the whole function. Yeah. Calculate the area.
That is the name of the function, not the type of the function. Correct?
Yes.
The type of the function, whenever I ask the what is the type of the function, basically it tells what is the parameters and what is the return type. So this particular function, if I ask you the type, this is the type. double, comma double,
Yeah,
re-
data type.
and then return double double.
Return the.
This is the type of the above function.
Okay.
Got it right? Let's say this
Yes.
function does not return. Okay, so let's write another function. Great. Let's say name string print hello name. Okay. Now can you tell me the type of this function?
String.
Okay, string. So I'll write string, and then what is the return type? What is the return type of this function?
String only.
Return type is string.
Yeah, string
Sure,
name.
sure, right?
Yes.
Are you sure the return type of this function is string?
Yes.
Where have you seen the return type? Where do we give return
We have
type?
not written the data return type.
There is,
Only where the type string.
okay, I'll ask again. What is the return type of this function?
A string is
Okay, and what is the parameter?
parameter name is there.
Okay, what is the type of parameter? What is the name of the parameter?
Name of the type. Name only.
Name. What is the
Yeah.
type of the parameter?
Type. String.
String. So type of the parameter is string. Okay.
Yes.
What is the
Yeah.
return type of this function?
Print VLP give.
No, but this is not returning, no? So, okay,
Yes.
where do we give the return type of this function? Where do we mention, if I have to write a function with a return type, where do we mention the return type?
In the function only parameters. Yes. Yeah.
Here, how do we write, if I have to return a boolean, how do we do it?
Return type in the bracket will be use boolean.
Can you tell me? This is why screen sharing is very important. I want you to actually write this code because I'll be very disappointed if you cannot answer this question.
Okay.
I want my simple question is what is the return type of this function? What is the return type of this function? Calculate area. I think you are getting
Can
confused with the wordings. You know the concept, but with the question, maybe you are getting a bit confused.
yes.
Okay, what this function returns?
In the double.
Only the double.
Yes, return type is double is multiple double in that.
Okay, so when there is multiple double, what do we say? It is a tuple, no?
Yeah, yes.
So what is the return type of this calculate area?
Return type multiple tuple double.
No, tuple is only one, and tuple consists of multiple data, which is basically two doubles. Return type is given after this arrow.
Yes.
Okay. What is the return type of this function?
Here we are not assign the return type here.
Correct. There is no return.
Yeah.
This function does not return anything.
Yes.
Correct. So,
Yes.
if the function does not return anything, we can say void. Okay, void means nothing. Okay.
Okay.
So, if I have to ask you what is the type of this function, see, one is the type of the parameter, one is the type of
Yes.
the data type of the return, and one is the type of the function. There are
Okay.
three things. Okay. So, if I have to ask you what is the type of this function, it will be in bracket, it will be parameter, the parameters, and then after arrow, what do we give? What should we write here?
String.
Why string?
Param.
The return type is not string, right? Do you see anything after arrow here?
Yeah, no.
No, right? So why? How come the return type is string? What is the return type? If nothing,
Yes,
so
void will be used
void
because you are
we
not.
will do. Correct. We'll give void.
Void.
Correct. It is just that I think that you are getting confused. That's all. Okay, you know the concept. Okay.
Yes.
So then you have this one string and then return type is what? This is the type of this function. Okay. Okay. I'll delete this. I'll delete this also. I'll ask you one question and you will have to answer this. Okay. I'll say not just interest. Whatever. I'm just returning true here. Okay. Can you tell me the type of this function? I will not say anything. You have to tell me what do I write. I will not write anything. Tell me.
So return type of the function is the int and string is there.
Type of the below function is. Tell me. Tell me what should I write.
Int and string.
No, no. I mean, I can't write int and string. No. What should I write?
Bracket int
Good. Very good. Then.
comma string.
Very good. Then.
Close the bracket
Okay.
and return boolean. Return type. Data type.
Okay. Perfect. Very good. Okay. If there is nothing here, then
Will be send in boolean in the replace we can give the void.
perfect. Very good. Got it now?
Yes.
Got understood the type of the function. It is very important that you understand the type of the
Yes.
function before we get into the closures. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you have understood the type of this function. Now let's say I have a simple function called greet. Fun greet name string. Okay. So then and let's say I'm writing print
Hello.
hello name. Okay. Okay, so what I will tell you is okay. Now, if I have to call this, I can just say greet, right? Greet, and then
Great.
I'll say, and then it will print hello Sneha, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I will convert this function into a closure implementation, and I'll explain you how it works. Okay. So if I have to change the same function as a closure, what I will say, I'll say func, I'll say greet, okay, and then instead of taking this as a parameter, I will take it as a closure. So in the closure, I will give the return type of this similar function. So what is the return type of this? We did like this, no?
Yes, comma string.
Then void, correct?
Void. Yeah.
So this will come here. So
Okay.
first the parameter name. So as a completion, and then as the type of this parameter, I will not give double or string. I will give the type of this particular function. So like this.
Yeah.
Okay, and then inside this I will write my line of code, and my line of code will be, so now inside the line of code I will use this particular parameter. So I'll say completion, and then inside bracket completion accepts, so this accepts one string, right, and does not return anything, correct? So when I'll call completion, it will ask me to give some string. So here I'll say, let's say, uh, let's say, okay. And one more thing is this also accepts a name, right? So I'll give
Yeah.
name. Name data type is
Name
name data type is
string.
string, comma. So here I will say hello name. Okay. Now that we'll see, we'll review this. Now we'll see the calling part. So earlier we used to call directly. Now we'll
Great.
call
Yes,
something
great.
like this. See, name and completion. If I'll say name, name I'll give Sneha, and completion it will go. You press enter. It will come like this, and then greetings. And then here I will say greetings. Greetings. See, this is a simple function. This is the same function with the closure. Okay, closure function. Closures. And then, yeah, simple function, closures. Okay, now tell me, what is the, what is it that you would want me to explain again? Otherwise, you need to explain me.
You can explain one more time. We in the here return type in the using right string return the void, right?
Correct.
In the parameter we'll be using completion. That is in constant or any we can write a completion in that
Your,
the
this
name.
is just a parameter. You can give any name, anything.
Any name.
Ha.
Okay.
The reason why I say completion, no, is because I'll tell you. Now, see, okay, let me run this first. Okay, so by the time it runs, it will run, and both the calling part will return the same thing. Hello Sneha, both the thing. So it is the same. So you will ask, if I can do something like this simple, why will I do something with so much complexity? Right? You will say that the same thing if I have to do, I can just write a function. Why do I have to do this, all this drama? Correct?
Yeah.
So the thing is, what is the use of this completion? What is the use of this closure? So what happens is, earlier, let's say we used to do a API call. Okay, okay, wait. Let this print. Okay, same output result, right? Now you will ask that what is the use if I do the same thing with the same, with, if I can do the same thing with just a very simple function, why do I write so much and create this complexity? Correct?
Yes.
What is the use? So see, what happened is earlier. So if you have to write some line of code, let's say rhyme func do something. Okay, that's it. And then what we used to do, whenever this something is completed, we used to return, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Double. And then do do something, do something, and then return whatever, return, let's say 80. Okay, now this do something, this is something that is very time taking. Okay, let's say that you are making an API call. API call might take a couple of seconds, maybe 1 second. Correct? So if what happened earlier is, it will make this API call, and because it was returning, it will call this, and it will go to the next line of code, and it will go to return type, I return 80, and then this function will just return 80. So it is not actually 80. Let's say return uh, let result equal to 80 and return 80. I want you to understand this very properly. Okay, if you have any questions, please ask. So let's say I am making some API call. Oh, return results. So let's say I'm making some API calls and all, and then I am setting this result after the API call is successful. Okay.
Okay.
Now what happened was 80.0. Now what happened was, let's say this particular thing took some delay. There was some delay in executing these 4 lines of code. Maybe it is a long process, or maybe it is coming from an API call, whatever. So what used to happen is a compiler was not really waiting for the next line. It will see that okay, there is a return. It will go. It will go this line of code. There might be some API call, so that will go to the background thread. Okay. Then so all this time taking call tasks you should do in a background thread. Threading also we will learn. Don't worry. But for now, understand that all the time taking operations always we perform on a background thread, not on the main thread. If you'll do it on main thread, the UI will get blocked. You will not be able to scroll, tap on button. This is also a very common interview question. Which the UI operations, which thread is used for the UI operations? By main thread or background thread? Tell me.
Main thread.
The UI operations always happens on the main thread. All the time taking process, where it happens, main thread or background thread?
Background thread.
Why? Because the UI will get blocked.
Yes.
Yeah, there will be lagging. You might have seen, right, in some apps, if you are trying to scroll, it is slow. There is a
Yes.
lag because the UI is getting blocked. Okay, so these are the things that, let's say, are happening in the background thread. So the execution, the line of exit 58 line will get executed. It will go to the background thread. So now it will go to line number 62 and it will return. This all happened from the background thread, so this data did not come and this result was returned. So then if someone will call do something, right, nil will be, he will not have the data, he will get nil. Got it, right? Got it, why, right?
Yes.
Because this was happening in the background thread, it took some time, correct? So then what we can do to solve this issue is, whenever you, so okay, so you do all this. So what I'm saying is, I will not return anything. Okay, I will not return. Okay, so there will be no return type.
Yes.
Okay, because if I return, then you will not get any data. So what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, I'll say completion. Completion again is just data. Okay, just a parameter name, and I'll say it accepts double.
Return type.
Return is void, nothing. It returns nothing,
Yeah.
and it accepts double. And what I'm saying is, once all these operations are come, so there is no return type here, correct? So I'm saying that once these operations are done, you are going to call this parameter
Completion.
name only,
Parameter.
and then you will just pass 80, whatever result.
Result. Yes.
Okay, so now this function does not return anything.
Yeah.
So I will not get that empty data. What happens is, what this line of code will do, whenever all of this is done, okay, this will return result to the calling part. So why do we need closures? The closures usage, we need closures because in some time taking task, we can't really just return the data. Instead, we can use closures here, because if you return the data, maybe the time taking task is not completed yet and I may
Yeah.
not have the data yet, right, when I'm returning. So instead of using a return type here, I'm using closures, and when the operations are completed, the time taking operations, I am just calling this completion and I'm just passing this value.
Okay.
Okay, so this one you will understand it even better when we learn API calls. But I want you to understand that completion is not only about the API calls. Any time taking task, you can use completion. Okay, got it?
Yes.
Okay, so then we have understood how we can write these completions, how we can call these completions.
Yeah.
Correct? This is yeah. Where are we calling? Yeah, this is how we can call this function, right?
Yes.
Okay, I will not delete this function, but I want you to write one more closure for me. Okay,
Okay.
write a function which accepts a completion handler. The reason why we say completion is because it's just a naming convention. The
Okay.
reason we
Yeah.
say completion is because what we mean is once all of this operation is complete, you do this. So this is why we are saying completion.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so this is just a name. Okay, but just a good name to give our completion handlers. Write a function which accepts a completion handler. Uh, Boolean which returns if a person is eligible to vote or not.
Okay.
So same thing. You need to write for this. You need to write a function which accepts age, which is double, which no, it can be integer, and then you can perform some action, and then you can return a completion saying that whether it is true or false.
Okay.
Okay, how will you do? Tell me.
Now we can create a function,
Okay,
and we can give the person like anything name.
I'll say is eligible
Yeah. Yes.
because
Is
this function
eligible.
is trying to find out whether a person is eligible or not. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, then
Then we can give the bracket.
okay,
Yeah. Age
age.
colon
Okay, int. Let's say integer.
int
Okay,
integer.
then
Uh, yes. After that we can return the data type. Yeah.
like this, huh?
Yes.
Okay, what should I write here?
Yeah. Int.
Int
Yes.
is eligible. I need true or false, no?
Yes.
So what should I return?
And if the true, and it return true.
I am disappointed
Boolean. In the return will be used in the boolean. If
because
the
I
true will
don't
be
want you to suffer in these basic things.
okay.
This will be the data type, no?
Yes.
So it should be bool, not true.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, now
Yes.
what else? Now what here inside?
Like let age equal to 20. Something will be declared on that value says
No, this will be the calling part, no?
you can directly call, right?
No, you tell me what I should write. Tell me. I won't say. Should I write let age equal to 20?
Yes.
Then
Um, returns
for now you forget about closures. You just tell me this function. I want to write a function that accepts age and then tell me whether this is eligible or not. Tell me the workings of this, how this will work. Okay, leave it. Wait. We'll start again. Forget about closures. I'll say write a function which accepts age, uses age, and returns if person is eligible to vote or not. This is what you have to do. Tell me.
same thing. We can give the value of let age function.
What should I write here? You just tell I'm your typewriter. Whatever you say, I'll just type. So first we need to write a function, no? So we'll start with writing a function func.
Func is eligible word.
Okay. Then
Eligible. The bracket inside the age equal age colon
age colon
int.
int.
Then we can return the function, right? So return this. Return data type is boolean
Okay.
in the bracket and inside uh, inside you can give the
Print.
print is eligible. Can you vote is like something we need.
What should I write?
Can you vote in the colon in there?
Okay. Fine.
Can you vote colon and we can use the interpolation like slash in the
Okay.
bracket.
Like this.
Yes,
What should I write inside this?
is eligible.
Like this, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
No, only you can use eligible.
Okay.
That's it. Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Then
We can give the declare the calling the function. How will be
okay. Where? What should I do now? Where?
before the print will be used.
Okay.
Layout and we declare the values. Let age equal to 20 so,
Okay. 20.
or the again next line like getting the confusing here. So let age 20 eligible. Then like is eligible.
I should write is eligible.
Yeah.
Okay. I should write is eligible. Huh?
Is eligible allowed less something we can give. Yeah, is eligible equal to space equal to bracket age greater than equal to 20 like that. Greater than equal to 20. In that optional which there will give. After that we'll give the optional question mark.
This one, huh?
Yeah, one more question mark is unmarked.
Like this, huh?
Yeah. After that boolean or true colon equal true colon or false.
Okay. This one actually is not optional. Huh? This is conditional operator. This has nothing to do with optional concept.
Okay. After that we can true space true colon false.
Like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it done?
Yes.
There's some errors, no?
Cannot assign the value selection method. System interpolation produce deeper. No, sir, I'm not getting here.
But this is a very simple function, no? This
Yes.
you should do because a lot of sessions we have taken, and second application we are in between of the second application. So a good amount of syllabus we have completed. So I'm not expecting you to get stuck in writing simple functions. Okay. So what I want you to do, and this is why practicing is very important.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there is no point. See, I don't want that. Let's say the course is completed, and then I, after the completion of the course, I don't want you to face issues in very simple things, it because let's say someone is seeing your code, no, they should ask you like, oh, from where did you learn this? This is something really interesting, right? It should be like this. It should, if you will get stuck on simple things, then this entire course for you it will not be beneficial, correct? So
Yeah.
the more you will practice, the better it will be.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so see, we cannot, we can never say age here as 20. The calling part will pass the age. So this itself, there is no reason for you to do this.
Okay. Okay.
See, you will, and then what is what is eligible? Is eligible is a function name. You
Yes.
can't just assign this. No, you need to create a constant here,
Yeah. Okay. Let me.
a new one, and then here you need to not print. This function returns something. No, so
Yes,
this
we
function should
can
return something. Return
return.
what?
Return is eligible.
Correct, is eligible.
Okay, yes.
So this is actually your function. This is what you
Okay. Okay.
should write. And
Understood.
then age 20, no, you will call this here. You will put this here in the calling,
Calling
in
the
the view did
function.
load.
Okay.
Is eligible this function, no? Here you will pass 20, no?
20. Yes. Okay.
Not here. Here you will pass 20. Let's say tomorrow you want to use check for 18. You
Yeah.
will use 18, right? And then this returns something. So I'll say let is eligible equal to, and then I'll say print is eligible. This one, no? This is the complete case, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to practice functions as well, and then tomorrow or day after, tomorrow is Wednesday, Thursday, you will share your screen, and I will
Mm-hmm.
give you 2 3 functions to write, and then you have to do that.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So then this one is fine. So now this function does a few things and then returns. Now, can you convert this implementation to a closure?
Okay.
This is your task. Convert above implementation to closures. So,
Without
yeah,
using the return type, right?
exactly. You are absolutely correct. Without returning bool, I want
Return
to change use closures.
yeah function
Okay,
is eligible
okay,
with parameters is
very good,
and in
very good.
uh, your return type in return no not return uh, in
You can
the
refer if you want. You can refer if you want. No problem.
yeah first yeah yes
If
sir.
you want, you can refer. No problem.
Yeah each colon right inside that bracket return
Okay, just 1 second. There is. Okay, just give some other name. No? Is is eligible to vote, we'll just say. Okay,
We
now tell
can
me.
age colon inside the int is we can give the bracket
Where?
age colon space
Okay,
in with bracket in
like this, huh? Oh, sorry. Like this,
yeah
huh?
yes in
Okay,
close after that data type white return type white
okay,
close the yes
okay. So this is fine, but okay. Are you sure? Maybe you can check this one and this one.
I think same one here
Check once again.
age we'll be use the some completion in that parameter
Correct. So age will be there. I need age,
yes
and
age
then comma,
int comma
then
and
completion,
completion
then
uh, bracket in data type
data will be int.
yes
Okay,
int and after that return type y
okay. Now tell me the implementation.
implementation.
Then what should I do here? I want the same thing. Whatever you are doing with this function, no, I want to do it with closures. Now what should I write here?
Without any okay here we can directly give the
I'll just tell you. I'll just give you one hint.
okay
This int is wrong.
it is wrong. We can give the return type in the string right?
What your function is trying.
Yes it will be age boolean
Correct.
return
Very
yes
good.
understood
Correct. Okay. Now
yes.
here we will do the same thing. We will do this,
Same and
and then we will not return.
yes not return
What will you do?
completion
Very good. Completion. Then
bracket is eligible in
very
that
good. Very good.
eligible and yes
Got it?
yeah
This is good. Very good, Sneha. Okay. Now the
okay
calling part. How do we call it? Let's call. Is eligible to vote.
you can say give the
Is eligible to vote. This one.
yes
Okay. Now what should I pass in age?
age anything 20
Anything? Okay. 20. Then here what should I do?
here we can use the print
Okay. So here just press enter. Okay. So it will come
yes
like this.
yes
Okay. Now tell me what should I do now? What will come here?
yes we given the function name right
Huh. What will come here in place of this? This bool actually is the value this is basically returning or complete or giving in completion. What is it is giving in completion? Is eligible, right?
is eligible yes the
So
same name
yeah, you don't have to use same names, but whatever you are passing this inside this no will
okay
come here.
okay
Okay.
inside we
So maybe you can say result. You can say
result
anything you want, and then you can say print result.
print eligible print result
Result,
yes
whatever is here. Okay. Let's run. Fine. This is false.
yeah
This is true. 18 because we have said that more than
yes
20, more than equal to
20
20 is eligible. So because we are using 20, it is eligible. 18 is not eligible. Correct?
yes
Okay. So then what I want you to do is I want you to practice functions. I want you to practice tuples. I want you to practice closures.
okay
Okay. If you want, you can hold on the. Okay, no, tomorrow there is no class, right? So tomorrow you get 2 days now.
yes I will complete it soon
Okay, so then you complete.
practice I will do it
Okay, so I want both the application assignments to be completed. Okay,
okay yeah
and then I want
this
uh,
practice
closures,
and
functions, and tuples.
yeah
Thursday morning when we will connect, I will ask you to share your screen,
Okay.
and then I will give you a couple of problem statements which will have functions, closures, and tuples.
Okay.
And you have to and that will be that can be a combination of tuples and closures also. Okay, it
Okay.
is not going to be that easy. So I want you to practice a lot these three concepts, and then Thursday when we will join, we will first practice. I will review your both the application code. The code of both the applications should look perfect.
Okay.
The variable names, the spacing between the lines, each and every small usage of extensions when you are using protocols, each and everything I want to be as is, as it should be. Okay, the project name should not start in small. Everything. Okay, whatever we have learned till now, each and everything you should follow. Okay,
Okay.
I will do a code review of both
Okay.
of your coding as your applications, and then we will practice these three concepts.
Sure. Sure.
Okay, and then if we get time, maybe first half we will do that, and then second half we will complete the remaining items.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
you already have an idea of optionals, extensions. You have used extensions, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And the enums we have not covered. Classes and structures you are already using. Initializers I have to use. Okay.
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
initializers in it. So we'll cover these four, and
Yeah.
then extensions, options you already know, and then protocols. You have used protocols, but we will also learn how to create protocols.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to cover protocols, generics, fine. So then first half we will review, we will do a test of your concepts, and then the remaining half we will cover these concepts.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then see you on Thursday. If you have any doubts, you let me know. We can connect today
Okay,
evening,
sir.
Thursday evening, tomorrow evening, whatever. If you face any issues, let me know. We'll connect
Okay.
again. Okay. Okay, Sneha.
Yes.
Then see you on
Yeah.
Thursday. Then.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye
sir.
bye. Bye bye.